No, she was a good girl.
Blonde-haired, gorgeous child.
She was always happy.
Then she grew up into a beautiful young girl.
A beautiful young girl who became a nurse.
She cares about people. She wants to help.
And a mother of 2 children.
We were just lucky parents. Always thought, well, my God, things couldn't get any better.
Then, without warning, their lives turned upside down.
October 6, 2003, everything stopped.
It was about an hour before midnight when Oswaldo Condi, also known as Ozzy, and his live-in girlfriend Kimberly Long got into a heated argument after a long day and night of bar hopping with friends. Long, according to court records, left with a male friend, and sometime between 1:30 and 2 in the morning, the exact time is in dispute, the friend gave Long a ride home. Kimberly Long says she walked into the home she shared with Condi to find blood splattered in the living room and Condi's bloody body on the sofa. He had been beaten to death. Court records show Long called 911 at 2:09 that morning.
This crime scene was covered in blood. It was a very violent murder, and there's no way that the person who committed this murder wouldn't have been covered in blood, and Kimberly had no blood on her.
Justin Brooks is the director of the California Innocence Project at the Western School of Law in San Diego.
This is one of those classic cases where the person who finds the dead person ends up becoming a suspect.
Brooks is now representing Long. Her first trial ended in a mistrial. 9 jurors had voted not guilty, and 3 had voted guilty. When she was tried a second time, that jury convicted her. At her sentencing, the judge who tried the case, Judge Patrick Majors, said, "If the court would have heard the evidence in this case, I would have found the defendant not guilty."
Her case was paper thin when it went to trial, and now when you consider what we know since then, it's absolutely a certainty that she's innocent.
Brooks says there is new evidence pointing to Long's innocence, including DNA found on a cigarette that puts an unknown person at the scene of the crime.
And there's some significant evidence that Ozzy was dead long before Kimberly came home. But that wasn't developed sufficiently, and Kimberly ends up in this prison.
Kimberly Long agreed to speak to us on camera, but the State Department of Corrections would not allow our cameras inside the prison. So instead, we spoke to her with the help of a prison telephone. What do you want people to know about your case?
That I'm factually innocent. That if you were to sit down and actually look at my case, that there's nothing that points to me killing Ozzy. I'm actually factually innocent, and that's what I want people to know, and that this can happen to anybody.
Brooks says the Innocence Project is petitioning the California Supreme Court to get the case reopened, and he has petitioned the governor for clemency.
The governor doesn't even have to declare she's innocent. He's just got to say, we looked at the case is thin, there's some evidence of innocence, she served time in prison, and she should be granted clemency.
Do you believe you will one day walk out of there an exonerated woman?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think about it all the time. That's what I do think about. I have these whole scenarios on how it's going to happen and who's going to be there and what I'm going to say.
Kimberly Long's parents say this photo, taken just 2 months before she went to prison, captures the essence of their dreams, with Kimberly hands at the wheel, navigating into open water.
Our daughter will come home.
And justice will be served.
You betcha. True justice.
In Corona, Randy Page, CBS 2 News.